Previous sessions we have discussed about HTML, right? What is the purpose of HTML is nothing but HTML is used to create the web pages. Okay, HTML is used for what here? Create the web pages, and in that HTML web pages, if you want to add any content, we can add the content with the help of HTML also. Okay, sorry, add the content we can with the help of HTML only. Right now you guys are able to understand what I am saying. Now, so for example, here I'm going to create one web page. In that web page, if you want to add any content, okay, that content is nothing but if you want to add any list, order list, unordered list, nested list, or definition list, we can add with the help of HTML tags. Next, if you want to add any images, we can add with the help of like HTML image tags. Okay. Next, if you want to add any forms, create the forms. We can create forms. We can create forms with the help of HTML. Next, if you want to create any drop downs, or if you want to create any hyperlinks, okay, or whatever the content, if you want to add, that all the content we can add with the help of what here? HTML only. Okay, like that here I have added some HTML content. Okay, some content I have added. So try to understand here. I have added some content. Okay, okay, then that content also. Next, after that here, okay, so like that here we have created that web pages by using what? HTML. Now that web pages is looking like looking nice or not, sir, here? No. Why? Because it's like a not looking not good. Why? Because just it's like a not colors, there is no designs and all, right? So if you want to provide the designs, okay, in that HTML sessions we have created the forms, Google Forms, right? Or like a login forms are like that. But here that forms is not looking nice. Why? Because there is no designs and styles. If you want to provide designs to the web pages, if you want to provide styles to that web pages, then here we have to use CSS. Okay, then here we have to use what's are here? CSS. Okay, now try to understand here. I am providing designs to my web page. How the web page is looking like? Okay, it's looking nice or not, sir, here? Okay, so like that here we can add the designs. Okay, after adding the designs, just check once the web page, it's looking like all the colors, jatre. Okay, say yes or no, boss. So if you want to provide, if you want to create, if you want to provide designs to the web pages, then here we have to use what? CSS. Okay, now you guys are able to understand what is the purpose of CSS. The CSS is used to add designs to the web pages. What about HTML? HTML is used to create web pages and add content to the web pages. Next, CSS is used to add styles, or we can say what? Designs to the web pages. Okay, CSS is used to add designs to the web pages. Okay, sir, done. So here the CSS HTML introduced by Tim Berners-Lee, I said, right? The year of 1993. Okay, now the CSS was introduced. Okay, now the CSS was introduced by Hecon VM Lee. Okay, the CSS was introduced by what, sir, here? Hecon VM Lee in the year of 1995. Okay, so CSS is used to add styles to the web pages or designs to the web pages. The CSS was introduced by Hecon VM Lee in the year of 1995. Okay, next after that here, okay, sir, in that HTML, the latest version of HTML is what? HTML5. In that CSS also, the latest version of CSS. Okay, CSS latest version is CSS 3. Okay, the latest version of CSS is what here? CSS 3. The latest version of HTML was HTML5. Okay, next after that here, okay, CSS is used to add the designs and introduced by Hecon VM Lee in the year of 1995. The latest version of what's are here? CSS 3. Okay. Next, the main purpose of CSS is adding the designs. So now, how many ways we can provide designs to the web pages? How many ways we can provide designs to the web pages? Okay, we can provide designs to the CSS, okay, in the HTML page in three ways. Okay, now how many ways you can provide designs here? We can add designs to the to the we can add designs to the web page in three ways. Okay, web page in three ways. Sir, what are the three ways? Is nothing but the first one is inline CSS. Okay, what is the first one now here? Inline CSS. Next, the second one is what, sir, here? Internal CSS. Next, the third one is what here? External CSS. Okay, now you guys are able to understand what I am saying now? Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. Okay, sir, done. We'll discuss about this all the stuff. But you said HTML is not a case sensitive language. I mean, we can create the tags in uppercase also and lowercase also. Okay, that good. Then what about CSS? CSS is nothing for adding styles purpose. Then we can provide the styles in uppercase and lowercase or like we have to provide in a lowercase only. Okay, now the CSS is 100% like a case sensitive only. Okay, CSS is what's are here? Case sensitive. We have to write in a lower case. Okay, so now tell me here, CSS is a case sensitive. Okay, case sensitive. Okay, are you able to understand what I am saying now here? Okay, now. Okay, done. We can add designs to the web page in three ways we have discussed, right? Now we'll see about what are the three ways. Okay, the first one I said. What is the first way here? Inline. And now we'll see, sir, how we can provide designs to that web page for in inline. Okay, and now try to understand here. So first I'll go through that VS Code. Go through that VS Code. Okay. Okay, now here I'm going to create one new folder. Okay, I want to use the folder for CSS. So for that here, I'm going to create one new folder. Right click new folder. So in this folder now here I'm going to write web technologies. Okay, web technologies I'm writing, right? Done. Okay, and next after that here I will go through that VS Code. In that VS Code I'll click on that file. Next, open folder. Go to that open folder. Now here we have to select, I'll go to the desktop. In the desktop I have created one folder. What here? Web tech, right? Web tech one folder is available. Okay, okay, done. I'll select the folder. Select folder. Yes, I have opened the folder. This is the normal stuff already we have done. Already we have in our previous HTML sessions only. Now in that case, I want to create one HTML file. So for that here, I am taking one HTML file. For example, demo.html file. Demo dot what here? HTML file. So I have taken one HTML file. Okay, right? So now try to understand. In that HTML file, I want to add the structure of the HTML. So for that here, I am adding the structure of the HTML also. Okay, 1 minute. File, preferences, themes, color theme. I want some light colors. Okay, done. So now here I have added the some structure of the HTML, right? So now in that case, I have added some structure of the HTML. Now in that case, in that body tag, I'm creating one new tag. Okay, in that body tag here I'm creating one tag. My tag name is here I'm taking h1 tag. Okay, what is my tag here I'm taking now here? h1 tag. Okay, right? In that h1 tag here, okay, in that h1 tag here I'm writing welcome to CSS I'm taking. Okay, here I'm creating one tag called what, sir, here? Welcome to CSS, right? Are you able to understand what I'm saying now? Welcome to CSS. So like that here I'm taking. Now here I want to provide styles to or designs to this tag. So first way I said, what is the first way I said here? That is nothing but what? Inline CSS. Okay, inline CSS is nothing but in that inline CSS here we have to use one attribute called style attribute. Okay, in inline CSS inline CSS, we have to use style attribute. Okay, in inline CSS, what we have to use now here? Style attribute. Okay, sir, where I have to use the style attribute is nothing but, okay, so here the tag I have created h1 tag, right? In that h1 tag opening brace is there. In that opening brace only, here we have to use the attribute called style attribute. Okay, here we have to use the attribute called what? Style attribute. Okay, now in that, okay, no problem, I'm going to create another one h1 tag. In that h1 tag, here I'm writing hecon vmly, hecon vmly, so like that I'm writing. Okay, done. In that style attribute, what I want to write, okay, what I'm going to write is nothing but, for this content h1 tag is there, right? Welcome to CSS. And for this welcome to CSS h1 tag, I want to provide some background color. I want to provide what here? Background color. So for that, here we have one CSS attribute is there, that is nothing but background color. That also we'll discuss, don't worry. Okay, now here I want background color, right? So in that style attribute, here I'm using background color equal to which color we want, here you can write. So for example, I want some pink color. So here I'm adding some light pink color. I want to execute this, right? So try to understand now. Here right click, okay, go to the file, right click, okay, no problem, double click, run, start debugging here. Okay, copy path, I'll take here, I'm pasting it here. Okay, now we are getting that color or not, sir, background color. So like that, here we can add. And the main thing is, I have used that style attribute in opening brace of one tag. So the styles will be applicable for only the particular tag. Okay, so where I have used the style attribute, the first h1 tag. So the styles is applicable for only first h1 tag. Okay, now try to understand here. I am writing styles will be applicable. Okay, styles will be applicable for styles will be applicable for what, sir? Here tell me only particular tag. Okay, styles will be applicable for what here? Particular tag. The tag we are using style at. Okay, right? Okay, done. I will add the examples also. So try to understand. I will add the examples also. Okay, this is an example for what here? No, this is an example for what here? Inline CSS. Okay, now I'll paste it here. Next stuff, try to understand that is nothing but what here? Internal CSS. Okay, internal CSS. Sir, what is meant by internal CSS is nothing but, in internal CSS, okay, internal CSS, internal CSS we have to use, okay, internal CSS we have to use a style tag. Okay, in that internal CSS we have to use what here? Style tag. In the first class of HTML only we have discussion about the tags. What are the tags we have to write in the head part of the HTML? Okay, title tag, style tag, script tag, link tag, meta tag. Now tell me, this style tag where I have to write? In the head part of the HTML. Okay, so here internal CSS we have to use style tag. Style tag we have to mention in head part of the HTML. Okay, head, otherwise you can say head tag of the HTML. Okay, done. Now here I'm not going to write this here. I'll remove the stuff here. Okay, now here I want to provide styles to h1 tag. Okay, so for that here I'm using second case, that is nothing but style tag. Okay, where I have to write the style tag now? In that header pod. Okay, in that header pod I'm using one tag called style tag. Okay, I have opened the style tag. So I'm providing styles for which tag? H1 tag. So here inside the style you have to write h1 tag. After writing the h1 you have to open the curly brace and close the curly brace. In between the curly braces we have to provide the styles. Okay, I am providing my style is background color. I want some yellow color. Okay, I'm providing background color is yellow. Now try to understand. Now we'll get the yellow color. Okay, we'll get the yellow color. Okay, sir. But here we have two H1 tags is available, right? So I'm selecting the H1 tag here. So here we have two select tags, two H1 tags available. The styles will be applicable for first H1 tag or second H1 tag or both. Both. Why? Because here we are selecting the tag, right? So here we are selecting the tag means, so the tags h1 means, so how many h1 tags is available? The styles will be applicable for all the h1 tags. So here the here the styles will be applicable for not a particular tag, selected tags. Okay, styles will be applicable for what here? Selected tags, right? Styles will be Styles will be applicable for what? Selected tags, right? Okay, done. That also we'll see now here. Okay, I have written background color, right? So we'll see now the background color will be applicable or not for the both the tags. Yes, we are getting the background color also. Okay, sir, done. I want this content color red color. I want the content color red color. So how we can do that is nothing but here we have to use another one property color. Okay, just you type color. Okay, I want some red color. So try to understand here. Okay, I will refresh now. I will refresh now. Yes, we are getting the red color. Okay, now you guys are able to understand what I am saying now here. So tell me, in that inline CSS we have to use style attribute. That style attribute we should write in the opening brace of the tag. Okay, next internal CSS we have to use style tag. The style tag we have to mention in the head part. Okay, in that head part, in the style tag we are selecting the tag. The styles will be applicable for all the selected tags. Now you guys are able to understand. This is the story about what here? Internal CSS, right? Okay, internal CSS also we'll see. Okay, we have completed, right? Done. We have done. Next, after that here, third one, that is nothing but what here? External CSS. Okay, sir, what is meant by external CSS, sir? Is nothing but, okay, here the external CSS is also used to add the styles. Inline CSS also is used to provide the styles. Okay, next after that here this inline, internal, external, all the three types is used to provide the styles only. Okay, but here in external css we have to create a separate css file. Okay, in external css we have to create separate file and save with the dot css extension. Okay, and save with what here? Dot css extension. If you want here, I'll give that point also. CSS file should save with the CSS files should save with the dot CSS extension. Okay, okay, done. Now here I want to save the file with dot CSS extension. Okay, I'll do that also. Okay, but here I'm removing this stuff. Okay, I don't want this style tag. Why? Tell me. I'm using external CSS, so not required. Okay, so here in that body part 2 h1 tags is there. So now here I'm taking one separate file, CSS file. So I'll click on that file. My file name, whatever the file name you want, you can take. I said your girlfriend name also you can write. So for example, here I'm writing a Samantha. Okay, Samantha I'm taking, but here we have to save with what? Dot CSS only. Okay, okay, done. Now in that CSS file we have to provide the styles, right? So which tag I want to provide the styles? H1 tag, right? So here in the CSS file I am writing H1 tag. Okay, next after that here we have to open the curly brace. In between that we have to provide the styles. So for example here I want the background color is blue color I required. Okay, the background color is blue and I want the text color. Okay, color here I am writing some white color I am taking. Okay, white color I am taking. Okay, are you able to understand what I am saying now here? Okay, done. Now I want to execute this file. Okay, first thing try to understand if I'll execute and moreover here we have to execute the HTML file only always. Okay, don't execute the CSS files. Okay, done, no problem. I'll execute the HTML. If I'll execute the HTML for this two h1 tags, okay, for this two h1 tags the styles will be applicable for or not, sir? No. Okay, 100% styles will not come. Why? Because, okay, not okay. Styles also we are not getting. Why we are not getting is nothing but this is one separate HTML file, this is one separate CSS file. Where is the connection between these two files? Right? So here we have to create the connection. To create a connection, here we have another one tag is there. That is nothing but link tag. In a HTML session, first class only I have explained. Okay, that link tag where I have to write now? Head part only. Okay, in that head part only 5 tags: title tag, style tag, script tag, link tag, meta tag. Okay, now here I am using the link tag. In that link tag, one attribute is there, relation is equal to style sheet. Next, after that, here we have to use the href. Okay, here we have to provide the reference. Which file reference I have to provide? CSS file. So just type dot slash. Okay, just type dot slash samantha.css is available or not? Just mention that file. Okay, now execute directly will get the all the stuff. Yes, we are getting the data or not, sir? Okay, the styles is applicable or not? Yes. This is the story about what? Tell me now here. External CSS. Okay, now so here the external CSS. Okay, in external CSS we have to create separate file. Okay, separate file and save with .css extension. Next, after that here HTML file should link with external CSS file, external CSS file by using link tag. By using what here? Link tag. And here also styles will be applicable for particular tag or selected tags? Applicable for selected tags. Okay, now you guys are able to understand, sir, what I am saying now? Okay, this is the stuff. So the main intention is it may be inline CSS or internal CSS or external CSS. The main intention of CSS is what here? Add functionality, sorry, adding styles or designs to the web pages. Okay, right, now you guys are able to understand what I am saying now here. Okay, sorry, CSS. Okay, this is the stuff. In the next classes, here we have to select the HTML tags. Okay, we have to select the HTML tags. How we can select the HTML tags? How many ways we can select the HTML tags? Okay, that selectors. Okay, to select the HTML tags, we have to use selectors. That also we'll discuss. Next, border properties, background properties, each and everything we'll discuss. Okay, all the CSS like colors, jatra. Okay, that's only. Okay.